more practical side, so let's give another round of applause. Thank you very much, Monse. So Gian Franco is going to now tell us and show us how you've been working with one SME in particular and helping them to really apply AI. So this is, I think, probably the tips and tricks part of today, where you can really get a lot of ideas and inspiration and see just how it can deliver results for you. All good there?
All good.
All good. Great. Over to you.
We're going to do a little live demo. Some things are pre-made, some things will be live demos, so we're going to cross our fingers that the tools help us, because with live demos we know how it goes. I'm good? Yes. All right, so we're going to get to a little practical session about how to use some AI tools. I will be sharing my screen, and I'm going to be changing within different tools, so it's going to be a bit, a lot of movement on the screen. But I want you to see some tools that you can use for free, experience with them, try them out. They're not perfect. Nothing is perfect right now. Everything is very initial, the technology itself. So don't expect perfect results. But as Monse said, it's very good to use it as a rough draft, something to start with, and then to generate a bit more of your own. So I want to start with a little video presentation to welcome you all to the...
Tervetuloa tähän työpajaan, jossa opimme käyttämään tekoälytyökaluja sisällön luomiseen. Toivottavasti nautit siitä.
I want to ask our Finnish colleagues, did I say it right, what I said? Yeah, so my practice of the language was good, right? Took me a while to learn your language. I'll show you how I did this. So this is a tool called HeyGen. I originally just recorded myself in English, and I went to this tool, heygen.com, uploaded the YouTube link, and then I told them that I wanted to translate the video from English to Finnish, in this case. I can't do it now because it's going to take longer, but you can see there. I tried first in Polish, then in Finnish. And as you can see on the presentation, my lips are moving. It's not necessarily, like, it doesn't look so robotic. My body is actually moving like that.
Jossa opimme käyttämään tekoälytyökaluja sisällön luomiseen. Toivottavasti nautit siitä.
It's not about lying or trying to pretend something we're not, but because, I mean, I think we could be transparent about the fact that we're using, and we should be transparent about the fact that we're using AI tools. But this tool like this one could break a lot of barrier communications. If you send a personalized video to your guests before they come on their language, I think they'll appreciate it as a nice gesture. Also, another tool that I can show you about breaking language barrier. I'll have to open it, because that one I wasn't thinking about showing, but I think it's going to go like that. Some ideas will come to mind. If you have a lot of meetings online, I had a meeting with a French guest not long ago, and I don't speak French. I can understand, but I don't speak French. This tool, if you add it to your Google Meets, Teams, or Zoom, is going to show you a transcript live as the other person is speaking their language, so you can read it, and then it gives you time at least to respond better instead of like having to really pay attention if it's not your language. So this one really helped me talk to a guest not long ago, and they were really impressed, and so was I. So I mean, it also takes a transcript of your meetings. Later you can talk to that transcript and ask it questions like, hey, what were the key steps or next steps talked and stuff. But for language, breaking the language barrier, I also recommend this one. So now I'll keep going with the presentation. Oh no, I don't want to see myself anymore. So why we're going to talk about content creation with AI tools. In this day and age, content is still king. In the digital age, we're all creating content for our social media, for our websites. So that's why, I mean, we could talk about many AI tools and how they can help us, but we don't have time for everything, so I decided to center it around content. And I believe that very soon, AI will be the queen of content creation. And later we'll see, once AI becomes a queen of content creation, what's going to be our role as humans. So from this session, I just want you to take a couple things. First, that these tools that I'm showing you are available for all of us, at least on a freemium version, so you can try them for free. If you see that they fit your business model or what you want to do, go ahead and pay. But this is a great moment to start experimenting with them. It's not about the tool itself. It's not about HeyGen or ChatGPT or whatever, because we don't know who the winner is going to be. These tools are going to keep evolving. But if we experiment right now, we're going to be able to understand better how they work, and we're going to be able to adapt to whatever tool comes to us. When Nick asked who's using AI, very few people, like on a daily basis, very few people raised their hand. Recently, I listened to a talk that said that next year, we're going to be impacted by AI about 5,000 times a day. We're already using AI on many of the tools that we already use, but we just don't know that they're implementing AI. Our Gmail already kind of pre-writes our responses. That's AI. Google Translate, after 2015, as Monse showed, that was a big jump on translation. That's because of the transformer architecture. So we're already using AI. And I believe that we must understand and learn how to use AI in order to remain relevant. If we want to have sustainable businesses, to keep growing, to keep evolving, we like it or we don't, we have to start learning how to use these tools. Otherwise, we're going to fall behind. We don't want our competition to get ahead or OTAs or whatever. We need to stay relevant. So my suggestion is that you start experimenting, and I hope I inspire you to do so. I want to thank David, because we're going to use a little bit of a use case from his company, from the Cerdaña Eco Resort. We're going to do a little campaign and content creation. So for text, I'm going to use ChatGPT. I hope all of you have tried it at least once. I'll give you some tips of how to use it. First, when you create a prompt or an instruction to ChatGPT or to any large language model, there's different elements to the prompt. We don't always put all the elements, but you should try to put them all. The elements are the input, which is pretty much what you're telling it to do, the instruction, so here you can see them. No, like give me 10 Instagram content ideas. The give me is the instruction. The input is the 10 Instagram content ideas. Context, we need to give them context. What is it about? What are we doing? What is it for? And an output indicator. That means, how do I want the result to be? Give it to me as a list. Give it to me, I don't know, on a diagram. So the more precise we are, the better results we're going to get. A couple other tips. Be very clear on what you want when you're asking. Be very specific. Ask question by question. Don't just throw all your questions around. Provide examples. If you provide examples of how you want the result to be, the result is going to be better. That's a technique, actually. Role-playing, so you can ask ChatGPT or whoever, act as a role or as a specific person, and that's also going to give you better results. And this one may sound weird, but experimenters and researchers say it works, and I've tried it, and it works. I don't know if most of you say it works. Yes? If you ask ChatGPT to take a deep breath, relax, and think step by step before giving you your answer, it's going to give you a better answer.
Did not know that one.
Why this is because these models have been trained on content from the internet, content created by humans. Humans, when we think step by step, when we take deep breaths, we work better. So that's what it thinks, and that's what it happens. Actually, in December, a lot of people that were using ChatGPT on a daily basis realized, and were posting in forums and on internet, that ChatGPT was not working a lot. Like, it was not working well in December. And then some researchers said that it had learned that December was a slow month of the year, that it should take a break. And apparently people started telling it, it's October, so start working like this. We're just learning how these tools work. The more we experiment, the better we're going to use them. So that's part of my biggest suggestion. Just experiment, try different things and everything. So we're going to do this content. What info do we have? We have the website of the experience. We're going to go with the life reset experience. So I can open the website, but I already copied and pasted the content. So we have the website. And also David provided me with a buyer persona, who we're talking to. That's very important when we talk about context. And we're going to use ChatGPT, as I said. So I already have ChatGPT open, and I have a prompt pre-created. As you can see, it's a very large prompt. I'm not going to read it all, but this is why I had to prepare it before. What am I talking? So here I'm giving it a role. You're an expert in digital marketing, in the tourism industry, with vast knowledge and experience in wellness tourism, because we're talking, this is a wellness experience. Your job, so I'm continuing with the role. Then I'm giving it context. I'm talking about the company. I'm talking about the details of the experience. I keep talking about the experience, the methodology. So I'm giving it all the context that I can. And then a little bit here, I tell them who we're talking to. So our buyer persona. This buyer persona was provided by the company to me. No? So Jordi, a single man who's been working hard, and the demographic, and blah, blah, blah. His interest. So I go very deep on the buyer persona. And then I'm going to give you the instruction. I want you to give me your best 7 ideas for Instagram Reels to promote this experience to Jordi. Give me ideas that have high potential of reaching virality. So I'm just going to copy all these, and I'm going to hope that it doesn't take a million years to reply. Just in case, I'm using ChatGPT 4, which is the paid version. It's 20 euros a month, but I highly recommend it. And then I'm going to show you a couple things that you can actually do with this paid version and why I recommend paying 20 euros a month, which I hope that we can all think that it's a good investment. So while it thinks, let's hope it doesn't take a long time to think. It should give me a list of 7 ideas. And David, since this is your company, I'm going to ask you to pick one of the ideas so we can further develop it, okay? Yeah, I didn't want to have everything pre-made, so it's going to take a little bit. Well, while it does, I'm going to tell you other things that you can do with ChatGPT 4. You can create your own GPTs. It's called My GPTs. These GPTs, you can train using a technique called RAG, which means it's pretty much giving it your text, your documents, your PDFs. As you can see on the top left corner, I have Profe GPT, Veronica, Podcast Planner. I have a podcast, so I have a GPT that helps me to plan my podcast. And I give them documents regarding my brand, regarding my voice, regarding my buyer persona, whatever I needed to know. So that way I don't always have to give it the same instructions, and that GPT is constantly learning from the way I interact with it. That already saves me a lot of time. That's why I was one of the persons that raised their hand that I use it daily. That's already a big use case, because you can, for example, I also have an accommodation business. Right now, we're still experimenting with it. I cannot say that it works perfectly. But we have a GPT that has all of our manuals, our processes, how the PMS works, how the channel manager works. Everything that you can think of that sometimes you need answers like, oh, this is happening, how do I do a refund? And I have all the manuals there, so our front desk team right now, if I don't want them to call the manager always for something that they can look for themselves, but it's very hard to go on Drive and look for a 100-page manual for the answer. They have the GPT to ask. Technically, I've given it instructions not to hallucinate or not to look for answers outside of those documents. You have to be very specific. I have to say, it works 92% of the times. Hey, but you know, it already saves time. You need to sharpen it with more instructions. David, have you picked already one of these? I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect.
Well, the first one would be good, yes.
Okay, transformation journey teaser. All right, so we're gonna continue creating this Instagram reel, right? Okay. So I'm gonna first, okay, I'm gonna show you that on on ChatGPT, when you have the paid version, you can go and use plugins. This one is called Pictory Video. So this one is specifically for video creation. So I'm gonna Pictory Video, yeah, this one. I'm gonna start the chat. So there's a lot of people creating these GPTs to perform specific tasks. So it's better sometimes, once you try them, to use these ones. So now we're gonna take the idea from the first GPT and then continue developing with Pictory. Okay, so I'm gonna ask it to create a video. Create a script first for the, this is a live demo. I could be more precise and but time is king. Jordi is my audience. All right, so he's asking me for my audience. That's good. At least he knows that we should have an audience. So I already have these. Here's a description of the buyer persona. Here. Go back. For buyer personas, for example, another use case, and actually Vueling has this, it's called Persona AI. They don't do it with an open GPT, but they have a GPT for each buyer persona. So when they're creating a new experience or new content or whatever, they talk to that buyer persona to see if it resonates with them. So they've created this digital persona with all their information about the buyer persona, so they can kind of bounce ideas off their clients without necessarily contacting their clients. And that Vueling actually does that internally. All right, so he's giving me this whole thing, no? Another tip is never stay with the first result. Always change things, because this is a machine. Like, if you want to differentiate, you need to put your own context, your own company, your own narration. You need to interact with the machine. But for example's sakes, we're just going to keep going with the machine tells us, okay? The script looks great. Let's go for it. Would you like the revisions? Or this? Oh, it aligns perfectly. Thank you. But never stay with the first answer. Otherwise, we're just giving away our power to the machine. It's not about that, yeah?
I love it that you add please.
Always. Please and thank you. Mm-hmm. Great. Before you proceed, are you aiming to publish this video on Instagram? So it wants to know what format. All right. Hopefully it won't take a long time. But if not, I can, oh man, male voice for Jordi. All right. We'll give it time to work. Then later we'll see what it does. And then I'll continue with more parts, okay? So this is what I just did. We'll see the results. Now here I want to show you another tool that's called Runway, where you can create short, very, very short videos, 4 seconds for free, out of pictures. This picture is from David's website, the picture on the left, just a woman looking to the amazing landscape. And I can make that landscape, the clouds move and things happen. I'm not an expert. I'm not how you say, like a designer or anything. There's better ways to do it, but just so you see, and now I'll show you how to do it. Of course, you can see that the body changes shapes and it's kind of weird, but you're making the clouds move. You're giving a little action to a still image. You can come up with a use for that, probably. So you go to Runway. I'll show you how to do it. We're going to try it now live while the other one is working. So first, on Runway, this is another picture also from David's website. Runway allows us to create, and this is free. I'm not paying for it, okay? Videos from text or from images, okay? So now I'm going to do it from an image. So I uploaded the image. And this technique or this functionality is called motion brush. So I'm going to And this is, you can see how easy it is. I'm just selecting the clouds, and I'm going to be like, okay, I want the clouds to move to the left a little bit. There's a lot of tutorials on the website, so you can understand exactly what each thing does to make it look more natural. And then I'm going to select the plants, and I'm going to make them move like the wind a little bit. Like I'll make them move to, whoop. I don't want the mountains to move. That would just be weird, no?
Yeah, it's very
And this one, that's fine.
less than the...
I did it wrong. Reset, sorry. So I want to create 2 different movements, so I have to do it with 2 different brushes. So this brush is going to move horizontal to the left. Then I'm going to select another brush, and I'm going to go with the plants for another brush. Bam, bam. Okay, I'm not going to be so perfect, yeah? No? Okay. And I'm going to ask him to move to the right a little bit. I'll say done. And I'm going to generate these 4-second videos. While it works, what we need to pay attention to is that all these videos have this icon or tag that shows that they're being created with AI. That's important when we're talking about ethics. And all of these companies are also talking about creating a meta tag, so some tags that are in the code that we cannot modify. So when we upload these pictures or videos into social media, they're going to be automatically tagged as created by AI. And that's good. That's good to protect us as users. And there's nothing wrong with using AI to create content. Let's see if the first video finished. Where am I? Here. Oh, allow. Sorry. Okay, this one's still working. I'm good with time? Okay. We'll let them work or we keep going. What else can we do? We're talking about videos. This one is another video that I created with Runway, but this one I just did text. So I gave it not a picture. I said, a 40-year-old man, because I'm still thinking of Jordi, enjoying a hiking excursion in the beautiful nature. And this is what created for us. It's not bad. If you pay, you can extend the videos. This is just 4 seconds, but this is to give us a little teaser of what can be done. Before I continue, I wanted to see the results of the other ones. Otherwise, okay, no, this one's good. When we want to create characters and we want a consistent character to go through all of our content, so like every time I tell the AI, Jordi walking here, one time it's going to be one looking Jordi, another time it's going to be a different one. It might not make sense for our content. There's this other AI called Artflow, where we can create characters and then animate those characters, put them in different scenes and everything. So also this one with the free version, I gave the same buyer persona, and these are the Jordi, different pictures of Jordi that he created. I don't know if this could be the Jordi that would go to the eco resort, but that's what the AI thought. And I'm going to show you what you can do with this one. I'm not going to go through it because this one takes a longer time, but just so you can see, it's called Artflow. So first you create a character, which is what I did. Then you can generate the character in different backgrounds. So for example, we'll go to Story Studio. No. Just want to see some examples of what they do. Character builder. So these are some characters that they already have pre-made. You can put them in different backgrounds, different scenes, and then you can animate them. So then you can create videos from those characters. Of course, this takes time. It's not magic. But if you need this and you want to experiment with it, it's a great tool. It created that character for us. And here also what's good about all these tools is that they need you to learn how to use them in order to get better. So there's always tutorials in order to better practice with the tools, okay? And they're actually quite good. So I know. Let's see if we have, okay, here. For a minute, please be there, we appreciate it. Oh, we sincerely apologize for inconvenience caused. So there is no way for GPT to talk to our plugin for picture. This is live demos, this is what happens. But yeah, try it out at home. Hopefully the other one will work. Yeah, this one worked. So I don't know why she's stretching out because I didn't ask her to move, pero bueno. It's weird, huh?
Cringe.
Like I said, it's not perfect. But if you look at what you can do and what other people do, not me, you'll be quite impressed. You're like, whoa, these things were made with this tool, and look how weird I do. Look at the tutorials and get better with it. But now you're gonna be like, okay, all cool, but like your videos suck. They're not good. I'm not impressed. I cannot use that. I wouldn't use that myself either. I'm just saying, experiment. I'm not impressed, but look what's coming very soon. OpenAI just released, this is 2 weeks ago, Zora. This is a video fully created with AI. The prompt is, a stylish woman walks down Tokyo street filled with warm, glowing, you can see that. That's all AI. Nothing exists here, 0. Of course, if you see at the steps, some people kind of do like a weird step. It's not perfect, but it's very close to perfect. This right now, it's only available for researchers, for video creators, because they're getting feedback. They're trying to put all the ethical implications in it, so it's not in our hands yet. But I'm pretty sure 2024, so this year, sometime in the second half of the year, we're going to be able to experiment with this, at least with a very short version. So what I'm showing you looks horrible compared to this. We're going to be able to do this very soon. So if you experiment with the other tools, you'll be able to squeeze the juice out of this tool even better. That's more or less where I'm going. This is already here. This is all AI. Go into openai.com/Sora, and you'll see many of them. And they have the physics right, and the dust, and the coffee. It's crazy. So yeah, it's okay not to be impressed with the other things. I wasn't impressed either. All right, so another thing that I wanted to show you, it's about creating landing pages. We all need to sometimes do something rather quick that maybe we just need to get out there, and we need to do it with a short amount of time to show like a presentation or something. We can already create landing pages that are quite good and that work with a website called Mixo. You have one landing page for free, so we're going to try it out. This one works quite fast. Describe your startup idea. I'm always going to go with the same idea. So we have okay, the experience. At first, you only give it the idea, and then it does everything. Of course, that's not going to be very personalized to our use case, but then you can actually edit it. So let's say I want people to contact me, and my phone, and I'm going to ask it to generate. If anybody has created a website, websites have become easier and easier to create. It doesn't take a lot of time with WordPress or with any builder, but it doesn't take so little time like this. But of course, then later you need to tweak it a little bit. Let's see what it does. You can actually publish these sites, only one page. So here it's created a 2-pager. You can publish one page for free. I've done it for like a little course landing page to try it out, and it worked with a form for people to sign up. And then you can rewrite the text, edit, and then just kind of go. But you can use it as a basic structure. Look, it's already kind of put in pictures that maybe fit with our message or of mindfulness. It has nothing to do with the mountains that we have here. This is a different landscape, but it already creates a landing page that you can start working with. This one works very well, and I also recommend that you try it out, Mixo. All right, so getting to the end. So when AI becomes the queen of content, when it can do all these perfectly that is coming very soon, as we've seen with the video, what's going to be about us, no? What's our role? So I believe AI is about content, but humans are about context. So we've been talking a lot about experiences, about the human touch, about the narrative around what we do, and that's what we need to provide. I believe that we can, especially as small companies, we can use these tools to be more productive, to do a little bit more than what we're doing now, but we shouldn't delegate, or we should try not to delegate what is the human connection part, the customer service, like, oh, just speak to our website. Of course, you can have a chatbot, that's very good, but then always with the correct guardrails in order for a person to talk in case it's needed. But as humans, what we're going to have to do and put more attention on, it's on creating the right context for our experiences to work, for our companies to keep growing, and maybe we can actually delegate some of these more tedious tasks to these AIs or something else. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gian Franco, also for showing us that it doesn't always work. I think it's also good to see, maybe an experience we've all had. If I just wrap up what I think I've seen in the last hour, we were actually I was talking with Marta about time and resources. As much as all of these make everything go really fast, you end up spending a lot of time figuring them out, perfecting them, prompting them, so you can do a lot more, but then you spend more time doing a lot more, somehow. I think cost is something that's maybe a bit deceptive there, because they all have a freemium model, and then if you were to invest in 3 or 4, you're already spending a lot of money. They do very, very narrow tasks, so that can quickly run out of control, and it's also maybe quite difficult for small businesses. Ethics, I don't need to say much, except maybe I will refer to Eleonora. Your business is all about inclusivity, and you ask for an image of someone doing something. It will be racially biased, ability bias, and everything else bias, because it's trained in not the best way. And then creativity and knowledge, I think that our roles and the skills and everything, there's just massive questions there. We never thought creativity would be replaced. And I was always saying to people, if your job can be trained, it can be replaced. Now I don't say that, because if your job can't be trained, it can still be replaced with generative AI. So a lot of food for thought. We don't have any time, unfortunately, to dip further into this. So let's give them both a round of applause, and really insightful. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining. And I'm going to hand back now to Sandra,